Hey guys, Marco Garcia here. Thank you for joining our bootcamp week, day number 2. Today is Wednesday, November the 29th, and it is almost 4:30 p.m. US Eastern. So thank you guys for joining today. We're going to wait for a few more people to join us. I see people are stumbling in. As usual, we're going to do a sound check and a video check to make sure that you guys can hear and see the presentation before we begin. So if you guys can hear me and if you can see the screen, please in the chat box, go ahead and type in yes. That way I know that you guys can hear and see the presentation properly before we begin. Okay, so I'll give you a few seconds for that. As we wait for more people to join us today. Okay, so again, those of you who are just entering the room, welcome to day 2 of our bootcamp. If you guys can hear me and see the screen, please go ahead and type in yes in the chat box so that I can see that everything is working fine on our end. And your end as well, right? Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for providing your feedback. Super important that you guys can hear and see the presentation before we begin. That way you don't miss any important details of what we're going to be covering today, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important topics of the bootcamp. Okay? So I'll give you a few more seconds for those of you who are just joining. If you can hear and see the screen, please go ahead and type in yes in the chat box to make sure that everything is working for everybody. Okay, awesome guys. Thank you for confirming. It seems that the audio and the video is working fine. So we can go ahead and get started for today. All right. How is everybody doing? Are you guys having a good week? I hope that you are. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who missed the first day of our bootcamp, you should have received an email with the recording. Everybody should have received an email with the recording. So those of you who are here, were you guys able to receive that email with the recording of the first presentation of day 1? Can you guys go ahead and type in yes in the chat box to make sure that this is being recorded and that it is being sent to you guys after the presentation? I think it is sent 24 hours after the live ended. So please confirm if you guys received an email with the replay, just to make sure that everything is working. And if you have not received it, I can look into it to make sure that you guys get the recording of day 1. And that is regardless of you attending or not, right? You should be able to receive the recording regardless of your attendance. Okay, so go ahead and type in yes if you were able to receive the recording of day 1. If you didn't, then you can put in the chat box no, and that way I can make sure that you guys are getting all that good stuff right into your inbox. Okay. So I see a few no's. I see most of you guys saying yes. All right. So if you did not receive a copy of day 1, a copy of the recording, just type in no in the chat box, and I'll make sure that you guys get it. Okay. I see a few no's. Most of you guys are getting those. So it could be that maybe it's in your spam folder, or maybe there was a typo in your email. But regardless, I have all the data of all the signups that were invited to this bootcamp sessions. So I'll make sure you guys get the recordings, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with day 2. Like I said before, in my opinion, this is one of the most important topics or days of the bootcamp, because we are going to talk about, guess what? Task 1, which is the SKU selection. Okay, task 1, SKU selection. Now, first thing that I gotta tell you is the definition of SKU, right? Which is stock keeping unit. We use a SKU or SKU number for each of the products that we have available in our catalog. And the reason why we have an SKU number is so that we can properly and accurately pick the products that your customers are buying in your store. Okay, so if I open up the catalog, let me just show it to you real quick. Now, for some of you, this may be very, very basic, but trust me, for a lot of people, this could be very, very confusing to understand. So I just want to make sure that we are on the same page when it comes to the vocabulary that we use as you go through the onboarding process with Rocktomic Labs, right? I think it's very important that we do that. All right, so can you guys see the catalog on the screen? Please go ahead and type in yes if you can. I want to make sure that you guys are able to visualize the catalog. Okay, so type in yes if you can see the catalog so that we can just briefly discuss SKU numbers. Okay, cool. So if we go to the catalog, if we go to the first product page, here we go. All right, so when we're talking about the SKU number, we're talking about this number right here. For this product, which is the Premium Mineral Complex, 2 ounces, the SKU number that we have assigned to this product is ROC 720, so ROC 720. Okay, so like I said before, we use an SKU number for each of the products so that we can properly identify which products we need to ship to your customers, right? We do not use the name of the product because, for example, this product, you can call it, full minerals. So, if you call it full minerals, like the fulfillment center would not know specifically which mineral, which supplement you're referring to. So for example, we have a more clear example. We can use, for example, this one, a Max Detox with Acai Berry. The SKU number is ROC 304. But for example, you can call this product Full Cleanse, right? So if you call it Full Cleanse, the fulfillment team at the warehouse will have no idea what product you're referring to, right? Because we have thousands of clients and every client is naming their products in different ways. Some clients are keeping the same catalog name, but for the most part, clients are using their unique names. And so we wouldn't be able to identify which product we need to fulfill if we go off by the name. So that's why we need to use an SKU number, okay? Now, it's important that you have this SKU number on your labels and you also have it in your website so that everything is synchronized and we are able to fulfill the exact product that your customers purchase. Why do I say this? Because we have a lot of clients that say, Marco, can I change the SKU number? Right? Because I don't want to use that one, or I want to use my own SKU number. I don't want other people to see the SKU number. So there have been a lot of clients asking to change the SKU number, but if we do that, then we wouldn't know which product to properly pick, and that's going to create a nightmare for the fulfillment team. Okay, so we cannot change the SKU number. So we have to use the ones that you see in the catalog. Right, so ROC 304, we have ROC 401 for the female enhancement or boost. Okay, so the SKU number has to remain as is, and that will ensure that when we're fulfilling orders for your store, we're going to be shipping out the proper products. Does that make sense? If it does, please go ahead and type in yes in the chat box, and then we'll go to the next topic. Okay. So SKU number, right? Or SKU selection. What we're talking about here is selecting the products that you will be selling to your audience, right? And again, this, in my opinion, is one of the most important aspects of your onboarding process with Rocktomic when creating your supplement brand, right? Deciding what products you want to sell to your customers. Now, the information and the training that you will receive today, you need to take it as a suggestion, right? You need to take it as a recommendation, as suggestion, as guidance, right? So what I'm going to teach you about selecting your products is not what you have to do, right? Like 100%, right? It's just me giving you my opinion, and the basis or the foundation of my opinion is from what I have seen that works the best for medium to top producing clients that we have at the moment. So all the training for this bootcamp is strictly related to the success of people, clients of Rocktomic that are doing super well with our business model. Now, that does not mean that you're going to get the same results, or it doesn't mean that you have to do the exact same thing that they're doing. But if you do, in my opinion, you will have more chances of having success when working with Rocktomic, right? Because there is many ways of doing everything, but if you go with a few of the ways that are working really well, most likely you will have success, right? So everything that I'm going to teach you today in regards to task 1, which is selecting your SKU numbers, take it as guidance, as suggestions, as experience. But at the end of the day, you are 100% free to make and create your own business plan. Okay? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started on this particular topic, right? Selecting the products for your brand and business. Now, is there anybody here who has already selected their products? Is there anybody here who already has completed task 1 in their onboarding process? If you have, go ahead and type in yes. And if you haven't, go ahead and type in no. I just want to get an idea of what the ratio is of people completing this task already and people that have not started with this task. Okay, so I see that we have a few people saying yes and a few people saying no. So that's fine. I just wanted to know what the ratio was, and it seems that I'm getting more replies now here in the chat. It seems that most of you guys have not started with this, which is good, and the ones that have started, it's fine, it's okay, but this will help you understand a little bit more in depth in regards to what this task actually means, right? What is the proper process to go through task 1, product selection? Yes, on Monday, which was the first day of the bootcamp, I advised not to start the process until you have completed the bootcamp. But it could be that some people actually started before starting the bootcamp, and that's completely fine, right? So again, what we're doing here is teaching you what we have seen that works the best, so that you can have a brainstorming session with yourself or with your business partners, and then make your final decisions when it comes to product selection. Okay. All right. So let's get right into it. Okay. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna give you 8 trade secrets of how to properly go about selecting your SKUs or products with our business model. Okay, and again, these trade secrets are based on what we have seen that works the best. Okay, it's not the only way, it's not just one way, but it's what we have seen that works the best. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first trade secret when it comes to selecting your SKUs. Okay, so number 1 is you must define your avatar. When we're saying avatar, we are referring to your target audience, right? So that customer that will potentially buy your supplements. You have to define in detail who that avatar is. Take as an example Rocktonic. Who are we targeting with our advertising? Who are we trying to reach out to? We're trying to reach out to entrepreneurs who want to sell their own supplements, right? Their own brand of supplements. And so if you guys are here, which you are, that means that we did a good job at defining the proper avatar so that the right people was the right people was able to see our advertising, book a call, or watch our trainings and then sign up. So that's one of the secrets of success when it comes to e-commerce. You have to be able to define your avatar in detail. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next page where we elaborate on this. Okay. So you have to define your avatar in detail. Now that means that you have to have clarity on your demographics, right? So you have to make a decision on whether you're going to be selling to men or women or both. You have to make a decision whether you're going to sell to low income people or customers or high income families. You have to decide what city or what state or what country you want to sell your products to. You want to be able to decide on basically all the characteristics that define that avatar, that customer that you want to sell your products to. Now, why is that important? Because as you do your Google or Facebook or Instagram advertising campaigns, these social media platforms are actually going to ask you about who your avatar is. They're going to ask you who it is, income, men or women, what do they do for work, what do they do for hobbies, what are their goals, what are their problems. So all these social media platforms, when it comes to paid advertising, they're going to ask you for this information. So if you don't have it, and if you don't have clarity on this, how are you going to create an offer for them, right? How are you going to create labels for them? How are you going to create a website for them, right? So everything starts with that one individual that you want to sell your products to. So you really have to put a lot of thought, a lot of brainstorming into deciding who your avatar is going to be. Okay? So you have to consider demographics, and then you also have to select a niche, but not just a niche, but a sub-niche, right? So a niche could be, for example, people that play sports. That's a general niche, right? And then a sub-niche could be a specific sport, let's say soccer or basketball, right? So if you want to sell supplements to basketball players, right, you come to that conclusion, a basketball player, by discussing demographics, selecting your niche, and then selecting your sub-niche. Oftentimes I get on consultations and I ask to potential clients of Rocktomic this question, like, who do you want to sell to? Like, tell me a little bit about your business plan. And they say, I want to sell to everybody, to the whole world. And I'm like, okay, what's your advertising budget? And they say, well, about, $100 a month. So can you really sell to everybody or anybody in any country in the world with $100 a month? Of course not, right? You have to be Coca-Cola. You have to be McDonald's. You have to be a large corporation with millions of dollars for advertising budgets, to be able to sell to everybody in any country, in any city, and, anywhere in the world. So whenever I hear that, I'm like, okay, this client, like, he's clueless. Like, he has no idea what he wants to do. Right. And so that's the purpose of this bootcamp is to point you in the right direction when it comes to your product selection, which has to be based on this important foundation, which is defining the avatar, selecting a niche, and a sub niche. So not just a niche, right? So you don't want to sell to athletes. You want to sell to athletes who do track, or athletes who do baseball or basketball or football, whatever. It's your choice. You decide who you want to sell to, but you have to make a decision on the demographics, the niche, and the sub niche. And then my recommendation, which will be, a sub secret to this number one trade secret, try to sell to the underserved niches and sub niches, right? So let me ask you this: how many brands out there, like supplement brands, are selling protein to like people that go to the gym and they want to build muscle? How many brands are out there already selling to gym goers that are looking for a protein shake? Right? Thousands of brands. So do you want to start there? Probably not. Right? Probably you don't want to sell to that audience because there's already tons and tons of brands and companies selling whey protein to gym athletes or gym goers. Right? So this is what you need to brainstorm on. You want to create a supplement brand for a sub niche that right now is not being properly served with a solid supplement offer. And just to elaborate on that, let me ask you this. Do you know which one is the number one brand in America, in the United States? Let's say the United States, right? To not get into that argument. But let me ask you this. What is the number one supplement brand in the United States for first responders? Does anybody know? Like, does any brand come to mind? And when I say first responders, I'm talking about ambulance drivers, firemen, policemen, basically all the people that show up whenever there's like trouble, right? Whenever there's an accident on a highway, or whenever there's crime going on. Like, first responders are people that attend to a scene of chaos or crime or whatever. All right. So the question: how many brands, or what is the number one brand that is selling supplements to that particular niche and sub niches? Can you tell me one? Like, what's the number one supplement brand in the United States? I'm 100% sure that you're not going to think of anything, and you're going to say, well, I don't know that brand. Well, you can be that brand, because that is one niche and sub niche that right now is being underserved. And that's truly one of the keys of launching a new brand and business is making an offer to a particular sub niche that they don't have a custom product or a custom brand with their values and their goals in mind that can sell them supplements. So most brands, they sell omega-3 as omega-3 for everybody. Most brands, they sell joint support supplements like turmeric joint support for everybody. But what if you sell omega-3 and joint support supplements to firemen, and you create a brand specifically designed for firemen, where you elaborate on what their problems and their challenges are when it comes to their immunity and their joint support, because first responders, they suffer from joint support, like, because they're always on the move, doing heavy duty tasks. So you can create that brand, right, for that sub niche that most brands are not targeting specifically. So when that fireman is looking for supplements online, if they see your brand that is specifically made for firemen in mind, guess what? Most likely they will buy from you, because they will feel identified. They will feel represented by your values and your company and your products. And you can even do, a percentage of the proceedings to, whatever, organization that supports firemen or whatever. Like, you can get involved in that niche, and you can be that one brand that serves that sub niche, right? Is this making sense? So creating a supplement brand and selecting products is not just, I want to sell whey protein to everybody. Like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. I can guarantee you that. You got to have a specific sub niche in mind and create a brand specific to their needs. And you can do that with Rocktonic, because we have private label supplements that are not labeled. So you can label them as turmeric or omega-3, specially formulated for first responders, specifically firemen or policemen or whomever. Let me know if this makes sense before we continue with the next topic. Okay, if this is making sense, please go ahead and type in yes. That way I know that we are all on the same page and I can continue. Awesome. Yeah. So selecting selecting your products is first thinking about your avatar. Who is that dream client that you want to sell your products to? And you have to be able to make a description of that avatar. And you do that through a demographic brainstorming session that you can have on your own, and selecting a niche and then selecting a sub niche. And now you have a unique brand that is separate or is different, or it stands out from every other brand that may be selling omega-3 and joint support supplements, because your brand is specific for first responders. Same thing with sports, right? If you want to sell to athletes and specifically to football players, you can private label a pre-workout and the electrolyte formula that we have, and you can brand it towards football players. And so you make, a presentation of your brand and business for those types of individuals. And so when they are looking for products, if you do your advertising properly on social media, then they'll see your advertising and they'll say, hey, this hydration formula is specifically for me, for football players. Let me check it out. Let me buy one and see how I feel. Let me see how it works. Let me see if I can feel, hydrated after, playing football. And they will, because it's an amazing formula. And now you have a customer, right? But there's hundreds, thousands of hydration formulas out there. What makes your brand unique is targeting your brand to a specific avatar. Very simple, but a lot of people don't do this. And so that's why they create a brand that is generic. They're selling the same omega-3 that everybody else is selling, or most people. And what's different about you? Why should I buy from you? Like, you're not giving me a reason, right? It's all about avatars, niches, and sub niches, right? That's how you properly set up a brand from the get-go. Perfect. So that's that. And one comment that I get a lot is, Marco, is in supplements saturated industry? And I say yes and no, right? And I think with the explanation that I just gave you, you'll see how it is saturated and how it is not. So if you want to go out there and sell whey protein to everybody, yeah, it is saturated for you, and it is going to be very competitive. But if you design a brand for whey protein specifically to a sub niche, and you don't call it whey protein, you call it, muscle builders for moms over 40, then most likely women that want to build muscle that are over 40, because women start losing muscle just like men, as they age, then they're not going to see this whey protein for like hardcore gym goers. They're going to see a supplement food that they can take so that they can build mass, so they can build muscle, because it's being targeted for them. So instead of buying this hardcore whey protein with like a buff guy, like on the picture, like, weighing, lifting, I don't know, 1,000 pounds, they're going to see like a woman, like scooping, in her kitchen, this to improve their muscle, their mass. Like, most likely they're going to buy that protein. And it's the same product, but they're going to go towards that brand and that protein instead of the hardcore one. That's the concept, right? That's the idea. So is supplements a saturated market? Yes and no. Yes, if you try to sell the same thing to everybody with no budget for advertising, you're going to fail. But if you sub niche and create special offers for special groups of people, then that's how you can make yourself different, and you're going to have a wide open field of customers that are not being served properly right now, because everybody needs to build mass. Everybody needs protein, not just the hardcore gym goer. Like, everybody needs to consume protein, right? For different reasons, everybody. But not everybody's going to buy that hardcore, whey protein jar with like, the 1,000 pound guy, right? Lifting 1,000 pounds. Like, not everybody's going to buy that one, right? So that's kind of like the concept. So, and if supplements are saturated, like in general, it's because there's high demand. So you definitely want to sell something that is on high demand. You don't want to go into markets that nobody's buying, because like, how are you going to sell? Like, if there's no demand for such a product. But for supplements, there's a huge demand everywhere, and it's increasing every single year, right? So being in a saturated market, in a way, is a good thing. You want to enter that market because there's demand. And sometimes there's not a lot of offers for all the niches and the sub niches. So that's where we come in, right, with you. It's into providing a solution for underserved niches and sub niches that are looking for solutions to their health, but they just see generic stuff and they don't feel that that's for them, right? Again, this is just to open up your mind and get you in the right train of thought, right? When it comes to how to go about the process with us and how to do it properly. Okay. All right, so that's that. Let's continue with the second trade secret. And this is just as important as number one. So number two of the trade secrets when building your supplement brand is, along with defining your avatar, you also have to define the physical or the nutritional problems that you want to solve. Okay, so you have to be very clear in your business plan in regards to what problems you are going to provide a solution for, right? That's the only way to make money in business, is by solving a problem. I don't care what industry or what company or service we can discuss. You do not make money if you don't solve a problem, period. Like, that's, in my opinion, if I were to write a book about business, that would be like the first topic. Like, you will make money if you are able to solve a problem. And the more complex the problem, the more money you're going to make, right? So when we're talking about physical or nutritional issues or problems, what are we talking about? For example, we're talking about lack of sleep. That's a problem that a lot of people have, and they have it because of poor nutrition, mainly. Because there's people that work a lot and they don't sleep at all. And then you have people like me that I work a lot and I sleep like a baby, 7-8 hours. All right, not really 7 or 8 hours, but it's more like 5. But I sleep 5 and I'm good to go for the next day. Like, I truly am. I sleep 5 hours and I naturally wake up. So I go to sleep 5 hours, 5 hours and a half. I wake up and I'm good. I'm not sleepy. I'm not like stuck in bed. I'm ready to go, right? But that's mainly because I'm taking care of my health and my nutrition, or I'm doing that a lot better than 5-10 years ago, definitely. But lack of sleep is a problem, and people want a solution to that. Lack of energy, definitely a problem. And people usually drink coffee. They drink energy drinks and all these chemicals and supplements too. But it's a real problem. So if you have a solution for the lack of energy, guess what? You're going to make money. Lack of testosterone, right? Men after 30 or 38 years old, they start losing testosterone naturally, and you start losing that, and then all your body deteriorates, right? Your body ages, and that's because testosterone is not being produced as it was when you were younger. So that's a problem that men want to solve. Being overweight. Sorry for my misspellings. For some reason, when I created the PowerPoint presentation, it didn't show me the misspell. So sorry for that. But overweight, right? That's a problem, right? Being overweight. What other problems do people have when it comes to their physical or nutritional deficiencies? Can you guys type them in the chat box? Maybe you can type the problems that you want to solve, right? With your business plan, with your company that you're creating with us. What are some typical problems that people have, and they normally look for supplements to solve those problems? Sight problems, stress, fatigue. Perfect. We have menopause symptoms in women. Exactly. Just like men start losing testosterone, women, they start losing estrogen, right? And so, they start, suffering in different aspects of their lives. So there's tons and tons of physical or nutritional deficiencies or problems that you can target with your supplement business. My suggestion is that you start with one. Pick one and build your supplement brand and business towards that one problem. Because trust me, and this is what I tell people in my consultations too, if you are not able to solve at least one problem, meaning if you're not able to sell at least one product well enough to have a successful company, you're not going to sell 10. You're not going to sell 20 different products. You're not going to sell 50 different problems. So start with one. Keep it simple. Start with one problem that you can solve, because with Rocktomic, you have unlimited access to products and creating brands. You can create as many brands as you want with Rocktomic. You don't have to just build one. You can build many brands, and you can sell to different target audiences, and you can sell products for solving different problems. But start with one. Start somewhere, and keep it very simple, right? Don't overwhelm yourself with this massive project that you're never going to finish. And we have had clients that they start this massive project and they never finish. And then they blame me for it, or they blame Rocktomic for it. And it all begins with your business plan. You know, your business plan will determine the success of your business. And so start with one avatar and target just one problem. Lack of sleep. Create a supplement brand to help people sleep better. Simple. It will make your life and your business, trust me, easier right from the get-go. And when I say easier, I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't work hard, but it's going to simplify things when you are doing your advertising and your marketing, because you're only thinking about optimizing one offer for one person for one issue that you're trying to solve. And if you can figure it out, if you can crack the code of advertising and being able to sell one product to one person for one problem, all you got to do after that is just duplicate that towards another avatar for another product, or maybe the same, but then you start targeting other problems as you grow and scale your business. But start with one. That's what we did with Rocktomic. You know, I said, let's start the company working with entrepreneurs that want to sell their own brand of products, but they don't want to buy inventory. And let's crack the code so that we can figure out things for them, so that we can provide a proper solution. And then when we did, we expanded to bulk orders. So I said, okay, now for the same avatar, right, let's offer them bulk order opportunities, because there's a lot of people that they don't want to buy 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 units up front. They want to buy 2 or 12 or 24 and see if they can sell it before they put more money on it. And nobody else is going to help you with that, but Rocktomic will, right? We have low MOQs. And then we said, now let's target custom formula clients that they want to develop their own product. So we started with one, we figured it out, we made money, and our clients made money through our system. And then we said, okay, let's expand to other aspects of the business. For you guys, is no different. It's the same thing. So start with one avatar and start with one problem that you can solve through your supplement brand. Again, if you can sell one product and make thousands of dollars just selling one product, when you're trying to sell 20 or 30 or 50, you're going to succeed because you know how to sell at least one, right? Right. So if you have too many products, too many offers in your website with no clear avatar in mind, you know, people are going to go and they're not going to know what to buy, and they're going to feel that the products are not made for them, and they're not going to buy. So they're just going to see the site and, you know, just drop out. Right. So you want to make an offer that is specific to a person and to a problem. And those two things are the pillars of success when building your own e-commerce business around supplements. That's it. And clients that we have that are doing extremely well, that's exactly what they're doing. They're selling one product to one avatar, and that's what they focus on for the first year, 2 or 3 years. And after that, they start expanding, and they already understand, you know, how to use Google and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And so for them, it's just turning the key on a new product for a new avatar, and they just replicate the same thing that they did for the first brand. It could work just as fine, or maybe not, or maybe have more success than the first one or less, but at least they are optimizing and trying without having to commit money to inventory, right? Which is part of our business model. So you can test products and you can test offering those products to different people with different problems and then see how you do. If you don't sell one product well, guess what? You're not stuck with 1,000 units of that product at some Amazon FBA warehouse. All you gotta do is just remove it from your website, get a new label for a new product, upload it, and now you start fresh with that new product. That's the most exciting thing about Rocktomic, is that you can just add and drop products based on performance, like super fast, super easy, quickly, and without losing tons of capital in the process, right? Is this making sense? If it is, go ahead and type in yes. Again, I want to make sure that you guys are on the same page with me. Okay, if what I'm saying is making sense to you, please type in yes so that we can continue to the next topic. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys for your feedback. So yeah, number one, pick your avatar. Number two, pick the problem that you want to solve. And now, once you have that down, once you have that on your business plan sheet or spreadsheet or book or notebook or whatever, now in a way you are somehow ready to start selecting products from our catalog, but you're not quite there yet. There's other things that you need to consider, right? And we're going to be talking about those. And let me show you some examples before we continue. I want to show you the example of this company. I'm sure that you have seen it or that you have heard of them, or maybe you have purchased their products. Have you guys heard of Goli, the gummy company? They are actually one of our clients for an alternate brand that they have, and I'm not going to disclose that one because with them we have an NDA. But are you guys familiarized with Goli, the gummy company? And is anybody familiarized with this company when they started, like their first offer that they had? Does anybody know what their first offer was, like when they launched their business? All right, cool. So Goli, all they do is they sell gummies. They don't sell capsule unless they have added new products. But I think they have stock with gummies for this brand. Yeah, they have. So Goli, they started with one product, which is the apple cider vinegar gummies. That's the only product that they offered when they started. Just one product, apple cider vinegar gummies. And their gummies are very, very similar to our gummies. So this brand they sold close to $200 million last year just selling gummies. and their first product was the apple cider vinegar gummy. That's the only product they had in their store. That's it. Now, if you go to their website, you're going to see probiotics. You're going to see ashwagandha. You're going to see Beats cardio gummies. You're going to see sleep gummies. You're going to see the multivitamin gummies. You're going to see immune support gummies, super greens gummies they have now. They have women's PMS relief gummies. They have energy gummies, or actually, no, sorry, these are sleep gummies that they have, and they're actually out of stock. So even the biggest brands in the market, guys, go on back order, right? We have some people that complain, hey, Marco, you have some products on back order. How can we do business with you? And well, here's an example of a huge company, a multi-million-dollar company, and they're out of stock. So this is because we are all part of a supply chain. It's just part of the business. So if you cannot deal with that, then just don't get into business, because when you're dealing with products, you are part of a supply chain, right? So here we have one of the biggest supplement companies in the world, and they're out of stock. So this happens to everybody, to Rock Tomic and, the biggest brands as well. It just happens. It's part of business. But going back to the topic, they started with one product, and then they created their market with that one product. They figured out their advertising. They hired people like Jennifer Lopez and other celebrities, and they went on different TV shows, and they did their massive marketing, to reach out to mainly women, right? That they want to lose weight, but they don't want to get, into powders and gym and training and diets. Like they just want like something tasty and cool to improve their weight. That's kind of like what that was their approach, right? It's targeted for women that they want to look a little bit better, and they don't want to deal with like the hardcore supplementation, side of things. And they made this cool new concept of, hey, take, a couple of apple cider vinegar gummies, on the daily, and lose weight naturally and deliciously. That's how they promoted their stuff, right? And it worked, right? Because they focused in one avatar, and they focused in one niche, right? That's key. Super important. Okay, so this is one brand. This is one company that used that model. And there's tons of other companies. You also have Organifi. Are you guys familiarized with Organifi? I don't know if that's the right website. Maybe not, but let's just go Organifi. There we go. Organifishop.com. That's their current website. Yeah, so this company, the same concept. They started with only one product, which was their superfood greens. That's it. The superfood green juice. That's the only product that they had for about 2 to 3 years. And they built their market and their customer base and their business around that one product. And their avatar was, people that were looking for, a quick solution to have all their vegetables and fruits for daily intake in just like a simple way, in a simple to use product, which is, a superfood powder. And we have the organic super greens. We have the apple cinnamon turnover greens as well. And it's a very similar product to what they have, right? And now they have other products. Now they have, I think they have protein, they have turmeric. For example, here, they have the greens, which is their key product. So they still have that, of course. They have reds. So they have a red juice right now with red fruits and vegetables. They have liver reset gold. I think this is their whey protein, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is turmeric. This is turmeric for joint support. So they have that. They have complete protein now. So you see, so they have a bunch of products now, but they started with one product and they had that one product for a while. Again, just to prove my concept of you want to start with one avatar, solving one problem through 1 to 3 different products, because you can offer multiple products for that same problem, right? You don't have to limit it to one, but it just makes things easier and faster for you to get things going, right? If you just focus on one product. Awesome. So the most successful companies in the world, and we're talking supplement companies, they have started with this concept, right? Which is one avatar, one problem that they solve. And they do that through just a one product or a few product offers. We can talk about just other types of companies like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, they started with one product, their key product, which is, Coca-Cola. And now they have Fanta and Sprite, and they have I think they have over 50 different brands of soft drinks and juices and water. They're buying companies left and right. But they started and they created their business and market with one product. McDonald's, obviously not the 2 best examples for a supplement bootcamp, but it's just for you to understand the concept, right? You have McDonald's, they started with their Big Mac, their Big Mac meal. And I don't know if you've seen the movie The Founder, but the owners of McDonald's, the original owners, They actually had a robust menu. They had chicken wings and had a bunch of stuff, and they decided that it wasn't working for them, financially, and they just decided to stick with that one product or combo that it was selling the best, and they redesigned their business, and they started focusing on the Big Mac, the fries, and the drink. That's it. And they started selling hundreds and thousands of those. And then, whatever happened afterwards is a different story. But again, they took the approach of multiple products. It didn't work. So they went back to the root, which is, let's solve that one problem for housewives that don't want to cook. They're tired. They probably had a terrible day. They don't want to cook for their kids. Their kids come from school hungry. Let's just go to McDonald's. Let's get a Big Mac. That will feed them. I don't have to clean dishes. It's done. So they solved a huge problem for housewives at the time, right? So they selected one offer for one avatar, and it solved a big problem. That's why, they are who they are right now. Of course, they grew into other aspects of business, and now they are the biggest retail. They are the biggest real estate company in the world, because they saw the benefit of doing real estate, right? In addition to their business. But the concept, again, is solving a huge problem, right, through one offer, instead of like having a full menu, which is what every other restaurant was doing at the time. So that's that, right? Those are clear examples of this actually being the right way to launch any business. But with supplements, you want to do it that way. Okay. Any questions before we go to the third trade secret? Please let me know. Are we good to continue? Are we on the same page? If we are on the same page, just go ahead and type in yes on the chat box, and then we'll continue. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for your feedback again. All right, let's continue with trade secret number 3. And I'm very surprised that a lot of people don't do this. A lot of our clients don't actually do this. Do your research of your competitors. Enter their funnels. Go to their websites. Like, I don't understand why somebody would want to enter an industry and not be fully familiarized with their competitors. And they don't know what they're doing, what they're offering, how they're doing things. And so this is a trade secret that is super important. And basically what you need to do is pick 3 supplement brands that are known to you, and try to pick supplement brands that are doing something similar to what you want to do. Go to their websites and get pixel. Go to their websites and add a few products to the cart, and then don't pay, because you're gonna get pixeled. Pixel means the website and their advertising is gonna follow you everywhere in social media. I'm sure you guys have seen ads for different products and services, and prior to seeing those ads on social media, most likely you search for them on Google, and you visited a few websites and put products in the cart and didn't buy, or maybe you did buy. And then you start seeing on Instagram and Facebook advertising of those products that you left in the cart. And you're going to see some ads are going to say, hey, you forgot to pay for your products. Do you want to go back and get a 20% off to finalize your purchase? And then you start getting followed by this websites and brands that you're checking out. Well, that's what getting pixeled means. It means you're going to get followed by those companies everywhere. I'm sure that you guys started, once you visited Rocktomic, I'm sure you guys started seeing the advertising everywhere, right? You probably got tired of it. You probably got tired of seeing me, right, on the videos talking about Rocktomic and blah, 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 right? But that's because you visited Rocktomic, you checked out our funnel, and you got pixels. So we started following you everywhere on social media. if you went to Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you would see advertising about Rocktomic. If you went to a website that had nothing to do with Rocktomic, you will still see advertising from Rocktomic, and you would say, why? How is this possible? Well, that's the beauty of online marketing, right? You can do that through pixels in your website. So become a customer of 2 or 3 brands that are doing something that you are wanting to do, and then see what they do. Become a spy to their companies. Become a spy to their advertising. View and understand their retargeting ads, their advertising, and take screenshots and do like a market research and study and see how they are engaging with potential customers. Because guess what? You are going to be doing the same thing. I mean, I'm assuming that you want to do the same thing, because it's curious, but sometimes I get clients that say, hey Marco, I saw an ad for an offer, and then it changed, and then I paid $1,000 in January, and then you're offering the same thing for $500 on Black Friday, and they're like surprised, and then I think to myself, well, shouldn't you be learning about this? Like, shouldn't you be learning like what companies do to get their customers into their doors, their online stores? Like you should be saying, hey Marco, can you tell me more about how you got me as a client, so that I can do the same thing when I'm selling my products? But then sometimes clients they act like customers, not really like entrepreneurs. And the idea is that you act as an entrepreneur, right? The idea is that you go about this as a business person with a business mentality, not as a client of Rocktomic, but as a business partner, right? That's going to get your mind in the right set, in the right place, right? So you have to go through the onboarding process, and you have to deal with me and Rocktomic as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a partner, not as a client. Because if you see things as a client, you're not going to learn what you need to learn in order for you to sell your products to your customers, because that's what you're trying to do. That's how you're going to monetize this business model, is by doing the same things that I'm doing and that every other e-commerce business is doing. Like, you have to learn, and one way of learning is becoming a customer of a supplement brand, and then subscribing to their email marketing campaigns. When you go to a website, it says subscribe, and then you're going to get $10 off or 10% off from your first purchase. Go ahead and subscribe, and then start seeing the emails that they start sending to you, so that you can get an idea of how these companies are making money, right? So search for similar brands, right? Similar to your brand that you're trying to build. Visit their online stores and get pixel, right? So go to their online stores. You can even buy product to see how they try to sell you the next month on the products. Or you can just leave the products in their carts and then see how they follow you around social media to try to get you to come back to the cart so that you can buy the products, because you're going to be doing the same thing, or you want to do the same thing with your potential customers. View and understand their retargeting ads and take screenshots and then save them in your computer so that you can review them afterwards. See the copy, see the content, see the pictures that they're using. If they are doing well, then check their offers and pricing and perks, and you want to do the same, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You want to do the same thing that successful companies are doing to sell their products to their avatars, right? You don't want to be a hero and be an innovator, because being an innovator like Elon Musk is going to cost you millions of dollars to be an innovator. Right? When it comes to e-commerce and supplements, you want to mimic and you want to imitate and copy what top brands are doing. I mean, if you really want to make money, right? So if you want to change the world with a supplement brand, get ready to spend a lot of money. Like I always say, if you want to be eco-friendly, be ready to spend a lot of money on being eco-friendly, right? Because being eco-friendly is not cheap, and definitely being an innovator on any business is not cheap. And most people that innovate in any business, they fail hundreds of times, and they spend their family's fortunes before they find success, if they find that success. The inventor of the tire, he spent his family's fortune trying to create something that when he was asked, what are you trying to create? He didn't even know. I don't know if you've read the story of Firestone, but the inventor of the of rubber, of the tire, like he didn't even know what he was trying to invent. He just had an impulse of something, an idea. He didn't even know what he wanted to do, and he spent his family's fortune. You don't want to do that with supplements. or at least not at the beginning, right? Not when you're starting. Like you can innovate with like an amazing new product, but you got to have money for that, right? And the idea is that you do that once you have sales and revenue and you're finding success. Then you want to reinvest and you want to create a product that nobody else has ever seen before in the supplement industry. So when I hear a prospect saying, I want to create this amazing product that is going to change people's lives, and I'm like, okay, which membership do you want to go for? And they're like, well, I'm tight with money, and can you give me the $97 membership for free? Because I have an amazing idea. Can you finance me? And I'm like, no, bye. So having this great, goals and dreams of innovating, like, yeah, it's not bad, but you need money for it and you need tons of time. The idea is that with Rock Tommy, you create a simple offer that you can quickly start monetizing so that you can recover your investment and start making revenue and profits, right? If you do it right. But do your research of your competitors, see what they're doing, enter their websites, their funnels, become familiarized with how they're doing things. And that will tell you exactly what it is that you need to do. And then if you see somebody, for example, sending you an email campaign to promote their products, go on YouTube and you can search how to create an email campaign for selling supplements. And you're going to find hundreds, if not thousands of videos of what software to use and how to do it. Right? So whenever I get a client that says, Marco, I don't know how to do this, tell me. I'm like, no, you're being lazy. Like you have to do your research. I already did my part on sourcing products and, getting my warehouse ready and hiring and training, dozens of staff members. Like I already did my hard work. Now you need to do yours so that you can sell your products properly. And this is one way of doing it, right? Spying on your competitors. Does this make sense? Please type in yes so that we can proceed to the next topic. Okay, so type in yes if this is making sense to you guys so far. If it is, type yes or type so far so good, and then we'll move on. Okay, so again, don't try to change the world, right? Add to the world, with your unique supplement brand for an underserved niche or sub niche. That's what we're doing here, because that's inexpensive. That's simple to do, right? And you want to start simple, not with massive investment. All right, so let's continue with the next one. Trade secrets: start with 1 to 5 SKUs so that you can have a fast onboarding and you can test the market. So this is what I've been telling you guys since the beginning. So start with a few products. Start with a few items. Keep it simple. Again, you don't want to get yourself into this massive 140 label project and 140 website build out. Like it's going to be a nightmare. Trust me. Now you can do it in time, little by little. If it's your business model to have 140 products, then do it. But the idea is that you prove yourself, that you test the market with 1 to 5 SKUs to see if you can actually do this successfully without, losing your life doing it. So start with a few items. This is a strategy that I have seen working the best with my clients at Rocktomic. Sell one bottle for a very high price as a 1-month supply. So you have selected your avatar, you have selected your problem that you want to solve. Now you have one product that helps solve that problem. So you sell a 1-month supply in your online store for a very high price. And then you give them the second option, which is a 3-month supply for less money. So a cheaper option. You're buying more and you're getting a cheaper price in return. And then you provide a small perk. like a free something or a free brochure or a free meal plan, whatever. And then you have a third option, which is a 6-month supply for a very convenient price plus a big perk. For example, free shipping. So now you have, again, your very specific avatar with a very specific problem, and then you developed this website and content to elaborate on how your product solves that problem, and now you present your potential customers with a purchasing option that is very quick to understand and just click on buy. That's what you want to do. On your website, you want them to see the offer, read a little bit of content, and then take them to the purchasing decision right there on the first page. I see clients that have like 30 pages in their website. Like, who wants to go to a 30-page website? Do you guys want to buy from a 30-page website? Probably not. Like, you want to go to the website, see the offer, read the content so that I'm sold on the content, give me the buying option so that I can click buy, and then the second page is the checkout page, and then the final page is the thank you page, right? So 2 or 3 pages at the most for your online store. And you can do this. You can do a 1-month supply of a sleep formula for $60. Nobody's going to buy one bottle for $60, but you have it so that you can get your customer as far away from buying 0 or just 1 bottle. And that's what you're doing with this technique. You're pushing your customer away from the 0 bottles, and now you have them engaged into deciding, whether they want to get 3 bottles or 6 bottles, and what's the benefit to them. How are they going to beat you? How are they going to win against you? Because people that buy from you, they're not your friend. They are in a war with you. So how do you make them feel that they won? By giving them the best deal, but in exchange of the most or the biggest quantity of product. This is how you make money through supplements, is by selling 3, 6, 12 bottles at a time, not just one for $9.99. Like, if you want to do that, like, get a $1 product from China, right, and buy 1,000 units. That's how you can make money with that. Not with our business model. So with this strategy, you want to get your customers thinking, should I buy 3 or 6? Should I get, the 3-month supply or the 6-month supply? How can I beat this merchant? How can I win this war? Because I want him to make the least amount of money from me. This is how people think. This is how people think. How can I get the most from this company without, paying a lot of money? How can I get the most by paying the least? That's the psychology of the buyer. Nobody's thinking, how can I, give this company tons of revenue so that, he can buy his mansion and yacht and new Mercedes. How can I do that? No, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking, how can I save money? Because supplements is not a luxury. Supplements is a basic need. People that are suffering from different things and they need supplements to supplement their diets, they have to buy them, and they don't want to. So you have to think like the customer thinks. People don't want to buy supplements because it's an expense. It's an expense, and they have to swallow those big capsules and pills and tablets, and they have to like get the powder and put it in the blender every morning. Like, people don't want to do this. Nobody's jumping happily, taking their supplements. You got to think about this, right? So you want to make it easier. You want to make it cheap. You want to make it convenient. But you have to do it in exchange of volume. Otherwise, you will not make money, and they will not see the value of your offer. So you want to sell 1 bottle for $60, the 3-month supply for, let's say, $35 each bottle, and then you want to do the 6-month supply for, let's say, $22 per unit. That way you're making $150, $200 revenue per order instead of a crappy $60, which is not going to make you any money. And this is what I tell people when they email me or when I do my consultations on a one-on-one basis, and they say, Marco, how can I make money with you and your prices and this and that, with shipping? I got to pay this. And I'm like, you're not looking at this correctly. Okay, can you guys hear me? I see a few of you saying that you cannot hear me, so please confirm that you can hear me before I continue, because this is super important. Maybe it was just one person that had some internet or audio issue, but it seems that everybody can hear me just fine. Okay, so let's continue. Right, so this is what you want to do. You want to get your customer as far away from 0, and now they're thinking, should I get 3 or 6? And now they're not thinking whether they should buy from you or not. They're not thinking about that. Now they're thinking, should I get the 3 or the 6 month supply? The 6 month supply looks more attractive and appealing because it's the cheaper per bottle, plus they're giving me free shipping. And I need supplements every month, so why should I buy just a one-time thing? Like, let me just get the 6. Right? And then I have my 6 month supply. Now, they may not make this purchase the first month because they want to try the product and they want to try the shipping and your support and blah, blah, blah. They may get the one, but then when they come back, when you do your email campaign to get them back to buy the next month, then most likely, if they liked what they received, they're going to get the 3 or the 6 pack. Trust me. So in a way, the first sale is just to cover your advertising budget. It's not to make money. And that's another thing that I tell people when they say, how can I make money with this? Like, it's impossible. No, it's not. You just need to do it right. And usually the first sale is just the revenue that you make usually just covers the cost to acquire that customer. So you shouldn't be looking for profitability from the first order. If you can break even, like, you're a pro, because most companies, they lose money on acquiring customers. They have to go out of pocket to cover the expenses for that customer. So if you guys can break even on the first order, like, you did it right. And then do a damn good job at getting that person back in your store the next month and get them to buy the 3 or the 6 pack. Right? That's how, and then you have a customer now for 7 months, not just one. And then you monetize on the second order, on the third order, or on the subscription that you can put them on, whatever. Now, you're not going to do these offers with 140 products. That's my point. You're not going to have like 30 different bundles for like 30 different problems. Like, the attention span of people online nowadays is seconds. So they're going to be on your site seconds, not minutes, not hours. Right? They're not going to watch a movie on your site. They're going to go, and if you don't offer them a quick buying option with something that makes sense, they're not going to buy. Right? So you cannot do that with like a vomit of supplements in your store, with a vomit of offers, with a vomit of banners here, 20% off here. Like, it's just too distracting. It's distracting. You know, and people today on their phones are getting bombarded every day with, text messages, with, notifications of TikTok and Instagram. Like if you see a phone, like, on a 24-hour span, like, it's probably like thousands of notifications of like different apps and different things. How can you get them to focus for a few seconds and buy your products? With a simple offer: one avatar, one product, one problem. My sleep is garbage. I need a supplement or something to sleep, right? If you offer that to that particular avatar, you're going to get more chances of them buying from you. Simple as that. Now, this is the product industry, right? When you're talking about the service industry, which is what we do, is a little bit more complex. We have to elaborate on content, but just enough to get your attention so that you can book a call with me. And then I have to do a good job at elaborating on what we do and how we do it, without trying to sell you stuff, but just explaining what we do so that you can make a decision. But, us selling a service to you for creating a supplement brand is a different game compared to you selling a supplement bottle to a customer. But that you have similarities. You probably noticed that right now we have 3 offers: a cheap one, a medium one, and an expensive one. Right? So now we're getting people away from the cheap one and considering the $1,000 option or the $35.97 option. And most of our Black Friday signups were for the $9.97 and the $35.97. So similar strategies, but at the end of the day, you want to keep it simple, when it comes to supplements, especially when it comes to supplements. Okay. So guys, start with 1 to 5 products. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your soul. Don't lose your lives for trying to build this massive project of a supplement business. Again, if you cannot sell one bottle to one person, you're not going to sell 140. I can guarantee you that. All right. So are we on the same page? Please go ahead and type in yes, and then we'll continue with the next item. Perfect. Yeah, so go ahead and type in yes if this is making sense to you. If there's anybody that does not agree with me, like, you can put that comment, and I'll be happy to discuss it. Obviously, this is not you're wrong, I'm right type of deal. But if you guys think that you could have a different approach to this, that's probably better than what I'm saying. Like, just say it, and I'll mention it. I'll say, yeah, that's actually better than what I just talked about for the last 3 hours, right? Because we have to. We have to know when we're wrong, and we have to know when we're right, so that we can improve on things. All right, cool. So item number 4 of the trade secrets: start with 1 to 5 SKUs, no more than that. I say 1, just 1. Number 5, create an irresistible offer. So this is connected to the previous topic, right? So now that you have your avatar, you have decided the problem, you have your one product or bundle of products. Now, how do you get the word to your customers about you being the best option for them? That's how you can create an irresistible offer, and you do that through content. Okay, so you have to think how the customer thinks. And I gave you some pointers when it comes to what people think about when they're buying supplements, right? They're not buying supplements because they're cool. They're buying a Starbucks coffee to look cool, right? They're buying an iPhone to look cool. They're buying a Tesla to look cool, but they're not buying supplements. Have you ever seen somebody on their Instagram page, like, saying, hey, I'm taking my products, without promoting it? Because people that do that, they promote them and sell them. But are people like flashing their supplements? No. They're flashing their cool things, their cool buys, their cool purchases. And supplements is not that. Supplements is a need. Supplements because you have a problem and you need a solution to that. So think about that when you build your offer. So don't make the offer, the brand, the company, don't make it about you and how cool you are. Make it about what's in it for them. What's the benefit for them to get your products? And a lot of that has to do with pricing, with the types of products, with how quickly and how easy it is for them to buy from your store. So think about the customer experience when you're building your irresistible offer. Also combine SKUs to provide powerful results for your customers, right? So for example, one of the benefits of magnesium is to have better sleep, right? It helps you relax. If you have the proper levels of magnesium in your system, in your body. So you can sell the sleep formula that we have, or you can sell the sleep gummies that we have, which are amazing. And then you can also bundle that one product with magnesium. And then if you really want to make it truly powerful, add the ashwagandha gummies or the ashwagandha capsules. So now you're selling the sleep formula as your key product, and then you're bundling it with, the gummies and with magnesium or with ashwagandha. And so when somebody takes all those products, they have a powerful result. Like, they actually relax and sleep better. And they're going to say, hey, this bundle is amazing. I tried it the first month. I slept like a baby. And I want to buy the whole 4 or 5 products every time. I don't want to buy just one. I want to get all of them because I actually had the best sleep of my life over the last 30 days. So combine SKUs so that you can provide that powerful result. If people feel that they they benefited from your products, they're going to buy the next month and the next month and the next month. And sometimes, that's not doable with just one product. Sometimes, with issues that are like more difficult to resolve than others, like sleeping better, like there's a lot of concepts, there's a lot of ingredients that can help towards that, not just melatonin, right? You have other things. So magnesium, ashwagandha, and melatonin, like powerful. So sell that as your bundle, or you sell the sleep formula as the key product, and then for your upsell or downsell is where you offer the gummies, the ashwagandha, and the magnesium. And now somebody, instead of just buying one product, they ended up buying 5 products, and your revenue for that customer was $150, $250. That's how you can make money. So now you're not chasing 1,000 clients a month to get your products. Now you're chasing 100, and you just made 25 grand at a 55-60% profitability. You can quit your job, right? You can quit your 9 to 5 when you're there, definitely, or keep it and just keep this as a side hustle, because the more revenue, then the more things you can do, right? The more goals you can achieve in your lives. Promote and emphasize the trust badges, right? I've always said about 93% of supplement brands in the market, they're outsourcing their manufacturing to China and India. You guys are part of the 7 elite percent, where the manufacturing occurs in the US with globally sourced ingredients. So use the trust badges, use made in America, use made at an FDA registered facility trust badge. Use the GMP certified facilities trust badge. If the product is non-GMO or sugar-free or gluten-free, use all those trust badges because they work. Again, if you go to the Goli website, that's what they did, right? If you look at their label, very simple label, just 2 colors, white letters, that's it. Check that out. Vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, gelatin-free, kosher. Right? So promote the trust badges. And we have all that information in the catalog. If you go to our catalog, for example, you have the Ultra Vitamin for women. Check out the key product features on the last column. Made in the USA, manufactured at FDA registered and GMP certified facilities, third-party laboratory tested for purity, potency, and quality, gluten-free, all-natural, non-GMO, zero added sugar, lactose-free, manufactured at NSF certified facility. You can use all that to your advantage. Like, promote the hell out of your products with the key product features that we have in the catalog. They're there. You just have to read it and copy it. That's it. So do that. If Goli, a $200 or $300 million company per year on revenue, is doing this, like, you have to do it, right? You have to. So promote and emphasize trust badges, the quality of your products. Take pride on the products that we make available to you. I could have sourced cheaper, shitty product from China and sell it to you for $1.50, $2 per unit. I could, right? But what's the point in that? And if you want to do Amazon FBA or FBM, Amazon is cracking down hard on supplement brands that are not even showing their certificates of analysis of their products, and they're removing their listings and their products. They're being very, very strict about who can sell supplements on Amazon now, and they're doing that because for so many years brands sold garbage products, right? So every time somebody says, "Hey, Marco, your prices are too high, I cannot make money," I always say, well, buy from a Chinese manufacturer and see how that goes. I've had clients that I have talked to that they have purchased thousands of 2-pound whey protein tubs from China, and when they received their containers and they opened them up, it was sand. It was baby powder inside. Like, you have no idea what's going on in those manufacturing facilities. There's no COAs, at least not real ones. And so quality on product, you have to promote the hell out of it. And we have high quality product available to you, right? That you can monetize ethically because they're products that are being third-party tested, made in the US, and they have all the trust badges that, you know, supplements should have, right? So you already have the most important thing, which is an amazing product. All you got to do is just promote and sell. But use the trust badges, right? Combine products, right? Combine products, make powerful bundles so that when people are trying to solve that problem, they actually have a few items and they can have a more powerful result. Customers that find those results, they'll come back to you and they'll continue buying from you. Trust me. About 85% of our everyday orders are reorders from our clients that they're already selling products that, you know, they are established brands that started with us, let's say a year ago. About 85% of those orders on the daily or the monthly are just reorders because the products are quality, but you know, you have to sell them right. All right. Any questions about this, or are we good to go for the next topic? Please let me know. If we are good to continue, go ahead and type in yes on the chat box, please. Good to go. Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, trade secret number 6. Design your sales strategies for your online store. And we talked about, you know, one, which is having a one product offer with a 1 month supply at a high price, 3 month supply at a medium price, 6 month supply with all the value, right? With the best pricing, the most quantities, free shipping, whatever. So put thought about this before you even start going through the catalog and selecting products. Like so many clients, they rush, they want to do the onboarding process quickly, and they don't even think about any of this. I mean, let me ask you guys this, and you can be frank. Like, have you thought about all the items that we've talked so far? We've talked about 6 items. Have you thought about all those items before you selected or before you feel that you were ready to select your products? Say yes or no. Like, be frank. I know most of you guys are gonna say no. And that's fine, because for a lot of you guys, this is the first time that you're doing this, right? I don't expect everybody to know everything about everything, of course not. But selecting products for a business, like it's more than just going through a form. It's more than just selecting like the product on a catalog. It's you have to go deeper than that. Yeah, so most of you guys are saying no. I have a few yeses. LC is saying most of those, but not all. Some are really good stuff. I'm learning these lessons. So yeah, I'm sure you guys, you know, have not thought about all these items, but they are super important. They are the foundation of your success, right? Your business plan. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about your business plan. So design sales strategies for your online store. Make it simple, and that will be, in my opinion, the core of any sales strategy. It has to be simple, right? It has to be simple to understand. It has to be simple to read. It has to be simple for somebody to say, yeah, this is a good deal. I'll go ahead and buy it. Like, if you're not achieving that through your content, pictures, numbers that you're showing your store, then your store is garbage. It's not going to convert. It's not going to do well. Like, you have to make it simple for them to make a purchasing decision. 1 bottle, $70. 3 bottles, $50 each. What am I gonna do? You know, as a customer, am I gonna be retarded and just buy the $70 bottle? Of course not. I'm gonna get the best deal that I can get. And then if you offer me 6 bottles for like 25 each, guess what? Most likely I'll go for that one. But again, that usually doesn't happen at the beginning. They're just trying you out for the first time, so they may go for that 1 bottle. They're not being retarded about that. They're just cautious, and they want to test, you know, your product and your service before they buy more. But, you know, if you do everything correctly, then they'll come back and buy more because they're going to go for the best deal, right? Of course they are. So think about your sales strategies. Like, how are you going to present your products? And that is strictly related to the products that you want to sell. If you're just like selecting products because you saw the top 25 bestsellers list that we have in your dashboard, then that's not going to get you anywhere. Right? I get so many clients that ask, Marco, what's your number one selling product? I'm like, CMOS, right? Or the male enhancement, or the whey protein, whatever. And when they ask me that, I'm like, why are you even asking me that? Like, what does that mean to you? Like, what does it matter to you if I'm selling CMOS as the number one product, right? Like, what matters is how can you sell it, and if you can sell CMOS, you can sell any product, right? If you can sell CMOS well, then that means that you know how to do advertising well, so you can sell anything. So why does that even matter to you, right? Same thing with the question of, hey, Marco, how many clients of yours are finding success in the industry? I want to know that before I make my decision. I'm like, what is it? What does that mean to you? Like, what does that matter to you? If I have a client selling $1 million a month and one selling $10 a month, what does that mean to you? It doesn't mean anything. If I have 100 people selling $1 million a month, what does that mean to you? Nothing. It just means that they know what they're doing. How does that affect your purchasing decision of a Rocktomic membership? It doesn't, and it shouldn't. But a good question could be, hey, Marco, in your opinion, what would be a good strategy to create an offer? And I say, well, what we're going over the bootcamp today, select one avatar, one problem, one product, or a few products, and you focus on that 100%, and you make it work, right? That's a good question. Number 7, define your numbers. So you have to create your cost of goods calculator. And guess what? I did that for you. I created a COG calculator for you so that you don't have to. I spent the time building that out for you because I don't want you to go to the catalog and extract a bunch of prices and then calculate fulfillment and credit card processing fees. I mean, it's a lot of work. And even though I don't want you guys to not work, right? I want you guys to work and develop your brand because that's how you're going to find success. But I did the heavy lifting on your COG calculator. So what I'm going to do after this presentation, I'm going to send you an email, and that email will contain a cost of goods calculator. And let me just show it to you so that you can understand what I did. All right, do you guys see the spreadsheet? Let me know if you see it. Yeah, so go ahead and type in yes if you can see the client order calculation sheet or cost of goods calculation sheet that I created for you so that I can simplify your lives in a way that you are going to be amazed of. All right, so check this out. Very simple. Let's say that you want to sell Oxyburn, which is Rock 123. It's our fat burner. And let's say that you want to sell 6 bottles. Let's say that your retail price, just as an example, is $25. And let's say that you charge a flat shipping rate to your customers of $9. That's your revenue, and that is your gross profit. With this pricing and this structure, you are at a 41.4% profitability. It's beautiful, isn't it? I get so many clients after they launch and they start selling for like a month or two, and they say, Marco, I'm not making any money. Why? And I'm like, do you have an order calculation sheet before you launch? And they're like, no. I just selected your MSRP and that's it. And I'm like, well, that's the reason why you're not making money. You're not calculating your cost of goods properly, so you have no idea what your revenue is per order. You have no idea what your profitability is, and how can you run a business without knowing your numbers? How? I know all the numbers of my company, Rocktomic, and I know that this month we are at 485% increment on product sales. How do I know that? Because I have my COG sheet for Rocktomic. I know exactly how much revenue we have to date. I know what my profitability is. I know what my expenses are, everything. You guys need to have the same to have a successful supplement brand. So here you have on column A the product, so you can select any of our products. You see, we have all the products already here with the most updated pricing from the catalog. Here you can type in the quantity of bottles that you want to sell. Here you can type the retail price per unit that you want to offer your customers. And then the total retail price is calculated on its own. Here you're going to see what the price per unit is, which is $11.47. Here you're going to see calculated on its own as well the total product cost. You're going to see the fulfillment fee, which is $12, right? $2 per unit. That's $12. Here you can input the shipping cost based on what we have in the catalog, right? So for example, if you go to our catalog and you go to the first couple of pages, let's say you're selling to the US, right? Here we have 6 bottles. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shipping cost is going to be between $9.50 to $11.50. So we always want to be pessimistic. So we want to put, the highest cost possible, just for you to see what the worst case scenario is, right? That way, if it's less, you just make more money, which is great. It is better to see making more money than seeing losing more money, right? So let's put $11.50. Because that's the shipping cost that you will need to pay Rocktomic, and that's what we will need to pay the carrier to deliver that 6-bottle box to your customer. Then here you have a credit card processing fee of 3.45% plus 25 cents, which is calculated automatically. Here you have your profit, right, for the products. And then here, again, you have your revenue, which is the total money that your customer is paying you. And then here is your order gross profit. So this is what you keep after you pay Rocktomic for the cost of goods. Now, we say gross profit because here you also have to consider your advertising spend and any overhead that you may have for your business. And then once you subtract that from the gross profit, you get your net profit, right? Which is like your true profit. But this is based on what I know, which is what you're going to pay Rocktomic. What you pay for your overhead and what you pay for advertising, that's up to you. So you can put that number in. Now, check this out. If you want to sell them for $35 instead of $25, now your gross profit went up to $125.74, and your profitability in percentage went from the 40 or 41 to 56%. So you can play around with this, and you can kind of like calculate how to establish your numbers so that when you're selling products and you're subtracting your expenses, you know exactly what your expected gross profit is going to be. If you sell 1 unit for the Oxyburn for, let's say, $39.97, right? Your cost to Rocktomic is going to be your revenue minus your gross profit. So here you're making almost a 50% profitability. Now, if you want to sell a bundle, let's say you want to sell the Oxyburn, you want to sell the colon sweep, and you want to sell the max detox, and you want to do 1 bottle of each. You put in your retail price, let's say $29 for each. Boom, calculated. Your revenue is going to be almost $100, right? You only put the shipping fee once for 3 bottles, which is actually less. For 3 bottles, if you go back to the catalog, 3 small supplement bottles is going to be in the US. Worst case scenario, $8.50. So here you're going to change this to $8.50. Boom. Profitability over 50%. As a basic rule, you want to be at least at 30% profitability with any business for the business to be self-sustaining, right? So if you do more than 30%, which is like the bare minimum, then you're good. You're doing really well. And again, you can sell your products at whatever retail price that you want. You know, you can do $49.97 and sell it as a premium product, which you can. And if you sell it for $49.97, then now you're making a 70% profitability, right? Americans, they invest about $250 a month on their supplements. You are $100 less than that. So it's worst case scenario. You're still being 70% profitable. Sorry. So I'm going to send you this after the presentation so that you can use it to calculate your pricing, right? You have to know your numbers, right? You have to know your numbers. Otherwise, you're going to start selling, and you're not going to see any profit. And most likely, you're going to have all the money going into one bank account where you have your personal expenses, your business expenses, your family's expenses, and you're going to ask yourself, where is all the money going? I'm actually losing money. Well, the COG calculator is going to help you resolve that. And as a general rule, any entrepreneur needs to have at least 3 bank accounts. One bank account to put your monthly budget on personal and family expenses. Your second bank account should be your business bank account where you have your outcome and your income of your business. And then your third bank account should be a savings account to put your taxes so that when tax season comes around, you're not paying with a credit card and getting yourself more in debt. You have the taxes already deducted on a monthly basis. So you just pay it. And then if you get a reimbursement or you actually end up paying less, then you get a refund, and that's all good stuff. So keep your accounts separated, right? Family, personal, one account, business, another account, taxes, right? Those are the 3 wives or the 3 husbands that everybody needs to have, right? and they're all very jealous of each other. So you got to keep them separate. All right, so define your numbers, and you can do that with a calculator. I did that calculator for you. I actually built it today with one of my IT guys, and I'll send it to you guys so that you can use it and you can start playing around with numbers and building your offers. And that way you can actually see what the real profitability it's going to be if you decide to sell, your products at X value, right? Super important. Any questions? Are we good to go for the next and final item? At least let me know. We only have about 10 more minutes before we finish. So thank you guys for staying all the way through the presentation. I think we've had like 2 or 3 people that have dropped. Right now we have, we have 285 people in the room. We've had a few that have dropped. So thank you for staying throughout the entire presentation. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. Everybody's saying yes, let's continue. All right, so item number 8. After you have done everything that we just talked about, guess what? Now you are ready to proceed with task 1 in your dashboard. Like once you have planned out and thought about and brainstormed on everything that we've talked about between 1 and 7, now you're actually ready to start working on your dashboard for task 1, step A, and step B. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you that you went straight to task 1 and started going through the process. And I have a training there where I discuss similar items. I don't know if you guys are watching those or not, but I recommend that you do. But after you have completed points number 1 and 7, now you are actually in good standing, in good condition to proceed on your dashboard with task number 1. Now, for task number 1, I have some recommendations here. Watch the tutorials multiple times if needed. I think I made a typo in needed. But that I did the presentation today, so I didn't have the tools on this software at the time to prove it, but I'll do it for the next one. So watch the tutorials, right? I spent, I think it was like 3 to 4 months that I spent building the entire dashboard that you guys are able to see. I built it myself. I recorded the videos. I wrote the content, the copy. I got you guys the links. Everything was built by me. So you can critique me directly, but I built a dashboard so that you guys can do this step by step. So watch those tutorials. There is where you will find all the answers to all the questions that you may have. So instead of reaching out to support and then waiting for 1 or 2 days to get a reply, watch the tutorials, and that will clarify everything. So be self-sufficient, right, on going through the entire process, and you can do that by watching the tutorials. So make sure you take advantage of those. Another suggestion is complete one step at a time. I see a lot of clients emailing the staff or myself asking, hey, Marco, can you get my website started? I need to start selling ASAP. I'm like, okay, have you completed task 1? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, do you have labels ready? No, I haven't. I just need my website like up and running like yesterday. I'm like, okay, but you need to go through task 1 and 2. You need to select products and get labels done and approved before we do the website. Like, how are we going to build your site if we don't have the mockups? So we got clients that jump around the steps and the tasks, and they get lost and frustrated. And as always, they blame me for it. So complete one step at a time, right? So for example, for task number 1, go through step A first and complete everything for step A before you continue with step B. Don't skip around, like follow the step-by-step process. It works. It has gotten people from scratch to supplement brands that are doing $250,000 a month within a year and a half. So my onboarding process works if you follow it properly. Learn as much as you can as you go through the process. Like, you have to enjoy the process of building your baby, building your brand and your business. Like, if you don't enjoy the process, like, just don't do business. Like, be an employee of a company. Like, I'm 100% frank and transparent that, like, if you're not willing to learn and enjoy the process of building a company, like, don't do this. If you're gonna hate having to go through steps and submitting forms, to get your brand up and running, like, you're gonna fail sadly, and it's not gonna be my fault. So learn as much as you can and enjoy the process, because this is your business. This is a business that, hopefully is going to pay you $1,000 extra per month, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, right? But your success is proportional to your follow through, right? And so that's the last recommendation. Read and follow through on all the material that we provide to you, the emails, the dashboard, instructions on how to place orders, instructions on how to go about your label. Like, if you guys read like line by line and kind of like understand it, you're going to follow through precisely, and you're going to have a great experience. The number one reason why people fail with Rocktomic is because they don't read and they don't follow through, because they're just rushing through things. They just want to get things done, but they don't want to do things, right? So that's like crazy to me. They want to get things done, but they don't get things done. So you have to read and you have to follow through. That's what's going to help you achieve success with the onboarding process and building your supplement brand. Okay, and this is my last trade secret. Super important. All right, guys, thank you for attending to day 2 of our bootcamp. Hopefully everything that I discussed with you today will help you. Tomorrow we're going to review the dashboard so that you can see what are the steps for task 1, and then we'll discuss task 2, which is branding, right? Label design. That will be the topic for tomorrow. We have our presentation at 4:30 US Eastern Time Zone. So make sure that you guys log in so that you don't miss the presentation. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for attending. Hopefully all the information that I provided to you is for you to understand how to go through the process and how to do this correctly, because again, we have seen people fail and we have seen people succeed. And the 8 trade secrets that I just showed you for the onboarding process are super, super important. So make sure you apply them, and then we'll talk tomorrow at the same time. Okay, so you guys take care, have a good evening, stay safe, and thank you for attending. Okay, bye.